Hello everybody and welcome back to my garage Zero to Hero. Alright, let's just get this hose back onto the reel over there. And yes, as you can see, I have cleaned up the old F100 and it's actually looking quite good. I didn't expect it to be this shiny. As you can see, the fenders on both sides have got a little bit of rust, and this one is a bit of an odd color. Also in the back of the bed we've got a black floor pan, and I think this cab wall over here is also a different color, but that's not a big problem. We can sort that out with a little bit of paint, well, a little bit later on I guess. But for now we're going to focus on getting this thing a little bit sorted out on the mechanical side. So the shop is still closed. I think we'll see if we can get this thing into Grandma's garage, because I really want to see if we can swap out the front brakes. I did go and buy some new front brake parts. So yeah, let me get this thing fired up and pull it into the garage. Alright, so there we go. We've got our pickup truck in Grandma's garage. She actually stepped out for the day. She's going to do a couple of things. So yeah, we are basically going to wait for Alan's call, because this morning he didn't have any work for us just yet. So I think he's going to give us a call once there's something. I did go and get myself a little toolbox and some tools, as you can see, because obviously we didn't have our own tools yet. So I think this is a great start. We've got at least the basics that we need. So we should be able to sort these brakes out. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and see if we can get these calipers off, because they are looking quite bad. Alright, so we're probably going to take off the hose here as well, from there, and then there's our old caliper. Right, so we'll just chuck this on the table over here. I nearly dropped it on my phone. Alright, so let's get some brake pads into these calipers. Alright, so we'll just quickly get these installed. Brand new brake discs as well we've got over on the table here. That last brake pad, come on, there we go, just popped out. Alright, we're going to also replace the brake disc. Alright, so this one is a little bit thin. Yeah, it's definitely close to its end of life. Alright, let's grab the new one. Gonna put it on and just tighten it down. And now we need to grab our wrench over here, and we're gonna install the front right brake caliper. Alright, and let's just bolt it down over there. Let's get our brake caliper, well, the brake hose on rather. So there we go, that is this corner sorted. So I'm thinking this truck is definitely gonna have a little bit better brakes now, because it was actually very bad when I test drove it the other night. I actually went to go and fill the tank of fuel as well, because this thing is it's quite thirsty, but that's probably because the engine isn't very healthy. So we'll have to probably service, or if not, rebuild the engine at some point. But yes, for now we don't really have the funds available to do that. So yeah, we're just gonna have to hope that it's gonna last at least long enough for us until we've got enough money to get the engine redone. Alright, let's just get this hose transferred over to the new brake caliper over here. It's a bit tricky getting these things on. There we go. Alright, let's quickly swap out our brake disc as well. Alright, and let's just take this one off. This one doesn't look too thin, but it's definitely not new. So it's been definitely used quite a bit. So now we're gonna have brand new brakes all round. Basically, the rear brake calipers aren't brand new, but they are still fairly decent. So yeah, I'm not gonna worry too much about it. We need to obviously put on our brake caliper first before we get the wheel installed. Alright, so let's just pop that off quickly. Luckily I didn't tighten it down. Alright, so there we go. We've got brand new brake calipers and brake hoses and everything. Did I tighten this hose over here? Let's just double check these hoses quick before we call this done. I can't remember if I tightened this hose on both ends. It's just make sure on that. Alright, that is perfect. Alright, now we can get our front wheel back on. We are losing a little bit of tire pressure in these tires. We need to replace them eventually. So we're going to see if we can get that done maybe next up in line for this truck. Alright, so now we need to try and jack this thing up at the back. I don't know if it's going to work too well. I'm going to try and jack it up from somewhere over here. Yeah, we just need to get the wheels off and get those brake pads installed. I could probably actually just remove the calipers without taking the wheels off, but yeah, I kind of feel like it's not really the right way of doing it, so we'll just quickly pop the wheels off. I might have to jack this thing up a little bit higher. Yeah, it looks like we are definitely not going to be able to jack it up high enough on this side, so let's maybe do one side at a time. We'll put the jack, I think, somewhere over here, and try and jack up the driver's side first. Yeah, that should do. Alright, let's get this wheel off quickly. So my plans are to eventually respray these wheels, maybe change the rims color a bit. Alright, let's get this brake caliper removed. We've got 2 bolts over there, and there we go. So these calipers aren't too bad, or these brake pads aren't too bad in this caliper. Let's just grab our pry tool over here. We're going to pry these out. Alright, so they aren't that bad. We've got a fairly decent brake pad on the one. The other one is definitely a little bit more worn. So we're just going to go ahead and slap new ones in. We did replace the discs already on the back, so yeah, those are still quite new. Alright, let's get our hose bolted down again. And also this one on the side. Alright, and let's get our wheel back on. Let's just bolt it down. Alright, and we're going to just take these to the other side. We're quickly going to bring the jack over and lift it up on the opposite side. Alright, and we are ready to start lifting it up, hopefully. No, it looks like it's actually missing the beam. Need to try and get it under that frame over there, which is not the easiest. Let's see if we can get it now. Alright, that seems to do the job. Alright, let's get this also removed quickly on this side. Alright, and we'll put it down over there. Let's just grab our pry tool. We are going to need it on this side as well. Alright, let's quickly get this caliper off. Alright, and now we're going to just pry out these old pads. Alright, once again, this brake pad isn't too bad, but we've got a very badly worn one on this side, so yeah, that tells me that the calipers aren't really the greatest, but I guess we'll figure it out further down the road. Let's just get these pads into the caliper. Alright, there we go. And we're going to put this caliper back as well. Going to make sure we tighten up everything. Just like that. And let's get our wheel back on. Alright, perfect. Just like that, we've got our brakes serviced on the truck, and hopefully we're going to have a little bit more stopping power. These 2 pads that are still in fair shape, we're going to keep them around, but the old calipers and the old brake discs, I will get rid of those. Let's just see over here, that's an empty box. We'll get rid of that as well. Alright, and yeah, this pad is a good one, so we'll just put it on the table for now, and that's also an empty box. Yeah, I should probably get myself some black bags to get rid of all of these small pieces of trash that we need to chuck out. So for now, I just need to basically air up the tires a bit, and then we should be good to start using our truck again if we need to go somewhere. So I might actually give Alan a call if he doesn't call me first, because I expected a call from him actually already by this time. So I guess we'll just give him a phone call and see what he says, if there's anything we can go and do at the shop, because we are still waiting for parts from Hugo. Well, for Hugo's car, not from Hugo, but yes, parts for his car, in order to continue that job. So yeah, we currently don't have another project or a customer vehicle at this point in the shop. So yeah, we are kind of just waiting around, seeing if there's going to be anything else to do. I might actually give Luigi a call in here if he needs any pizzas delivered, if we don't have anything to do yet today. Alright, there we go. That is sorted out. Let's just get our floor jack out from under the truck. And then I will grab my phone quickly and yeah, I'll just give Alan a call and hear what he says. Alright, so we did speak to Alan, and yeah, we need to go over to the shop. He said he left us a note once again of something that we can do today. He didn't have a lot of time to explain. He said everything is written on the notes, so yeah, we're just going to make our way over to the shop and we're going to see if this job we're going to do is going to be something we'll finish today, or is it just the start of a new project. So I've got no idea. So let's just get over to the shop here. And our truck is a little bit loud. The exhaust headers might be a little bit leaking. So I don't know, we'll try and figure it out and see what happens. Alright, let's reverse into this parking spot over here. Alright, well, the brakes are definitely better. Alright, well, let's make our way into Alan's office and we'll see what he says. Alright, and here's the note that Alan left us. So the note says, "Hello FUNCLE, glad to see you got the old F100 running again. I nearly sent her to the junkyard. So today I need you to bring the courtesy car over to my house for my wife to use. She recently went away on a business trip after her car was crashed. She's back now and wants to start using it again. You should be able to drive it back to the shop without any trouble. Get back to the shop and see if you can figure out how extensive the damage is. The car is parked in the garage. It should be unlocked, so you can just pick it up from there. I left the keys in it. Address is 4 Beach Drive over on the small island. Thanks, Alan." Alright, well, that sounds fairly easy enough. And yeah, just to let you guys know, Alan did give me a little bit more money because we are no longer using the shop truck as our method of transportation. So we've got Hugo's car over there in the corner. So Alan did come and sort out the rest of the dents on this thing. He's just got a very good eye for these things, and it is definitely looking a little bit better. We might have to still do a little bit of touch-up work here and there before we get this thing painted, but yeah, I'll basically figure that out. Yeah, maybe a little bit later today. See if we can get that all straightened out. But yes, in terms of bodywork, this thing is definitely looking much better than it did. So I'm not too sure what's going to happen with colors of this thing. I don't know if Alan spoke with Hugo about a new color or a specific color, but I'm sure whatever they're going to choose, this thing is going to look very mean. So yeah, we will definitely continue work on this thing once the parts arrive on, I think it's tomorrow, he said, on Thursday. So the part should be here tomorrow for that. And then we can get that thing sorted out. But right now, I'm going to jump into the courtesy car and we're going to take a drive over to Alan's house. So we are going to go and pick up his wife's car. I've got no idea what car it is. He didn't stipulate that in the note. But yes, we are going to take a nice drive all the way over to the small island. And we're also going to see where Alan lives and see his house. So yeah, let's get going and hit the road.
Dusty lanes, left behind dreams, fields of gold and creeks that gleam. Rusty mailbox tells tales of old friends. I'm driving down the old road again. Windshield memories are hard to mend, past the barns where the trees bend. Gravel crunches like whispered chats. Me in the past, we're having us a laugh. Oh, I'm cruising down that lost highway in the twilight of a sweet yesterday. Old road, take me back when life was simple and my heart was 10. Laughter echoes in the evening air. Grandma's voice calling, dinner's prepared. Tires hum, a hymn from back then. I'm driving down the old road again. Ghosts of good times wave hello in the places only we folks know. Mile by mile, I find my kin, lost and found on this old road spin. Oh, I'm cruising down that lost highway in the twilight of a sweet yesterday. Old road, take me back when life was simple and my heart was 10.
Alright, and here we are over at Alan's house. So he told me that the garage is unlocked in his note. And yeah, we should probably be able to open it. So let me just, there we go. Alright, so yeah, that's quite a heavy door. Alright, and I take it this is his wife's car. So now, yeah, this is a BMW E36. Yeah, it's definitely been a little bit off-roading, as I can see. So we are missing a rear bumper, and yeah, this quarter panel is definitely damaged quite badly. It doesn't look like there's much wrong with the suspension. There might be like a hub we need to replace on this. But yeah, furthermore, I don't really see much damage. So we're going to try and drive this thing home, but, well, back to the shop, obviously. And then we're going to probably pull the courtesy vehicle in the garage for his wife to use. So we'll just leave the keys in it for her. Alright, well, let's see if we can get this thing fired up. It's, yeah, the first time I'm ever going to drive a BMW. Alright, well. Yeah, the headrests are giving us a little bit poor visibility in this thing. But, yeah, it's definitely not too bad. Alright, well, I'm just going to park this off to the side. And I'm going to quickly pull the courtesy vehicle into the garage. Alright, let's just see. This ignition switch is a little bit hard to find behind the steering wheel, but yeah, I think we'll manage. Alright, well, let's get this courtesy vehicle into the garage. We'll just actually reverse it in. Alright, I must say this little car actually drives very well. It's got a lot of power actually. I was very surprised at the amount of power this car makes now. Alright, there we go. We've got the angle right. It looks fairly decent. Alright, perfect. Well, I've got no idea how to close this garage door because, yeah, it doesn't want to seem to move at the moment. Alright, well, I'm sure it'll be fine if we just leave it open. So yeah, I'm just hoping it's going to be fine like that. But yes, let's embark on this journey with this little bit of a beat up BMW. See if we can get it over at the shop. Luckily the fuel cap is on this side and it's not damaged, so that is something that we don't need to worry about too much. But yes, looking at the interior, we might actually have a bent rear seat as well. But yes, that's something we're going to have to go and investigate over back at the shop. So let's see if we can get this thing fired up once again. And we are quite low on fuel, but hopefully we're going to make it. Alright, so yeah, let's get going. Alright, and here we are back at the shop with Alan's wife's car. So yeah, it actually doesn't drive too bad for a vehicle that has been in an accident. It's a little bit of a pull to the left, but nothing too serious. So yeah, I think what we're going to do with this thing first of all is probably take it around the back first and get it cleaned up. I should have actually just parked around back when we got here, but yeah, I didn't think about it at the moment. So yeah, I'm going to jump in this thing, I'm going to pull it around the back, see if we can get it cleaned up a bit. And yeah, then we're going to start working on this. So once again, I don't think we're going to probably clean this thing up perfectly. It just needs to be a little bit cleaner for us to start working on the body. And another thing I noticed, this car has only got a 4-speed transmission in it. The gear shifter says it's got a 5-speed, but yeah, that's whoops, I didn't close the door properly. Yeah, it's probably not latching perfectly. Alright, so let's pull this thing around the back. We're going to give it a little bit of a wash. Alright, so we are ready to give this thing a bit of a wash. I'm going to try and not get too much water inside the car because we are missing this quarter glass over here. So yeah, we just need to get most of this dirt off, because we are mostly going to be focusing on this quarter panel here, but yeah, getting this dirt off is a little bit tricky with all the dents in this panel. So we're just going to try and see if we can do it, yeah, a little bit carefully. Alright, we'll also clean up the wheel. Yeah, it's not too bad back here. We've got at least no broken rear glass. The trunk doesn't look like it's got damage on it, but we'll have to see. Once we get this thing taken apart, we'll see that. Got some beautiful 5-spoke wheels actually, but yeah, sadly there are only 3 of them. Alright, this side doesn't appear to be any damage, luckily. Alright, and yeah, that looks a little bit better. Alright, let's just get this hood cleaned up. Also get dust off this front bumper. Yeah, it's just a little bit dusty. I don't think it's really proper off-roading mud and stuff that's on here. Seems to be coming off quite easily. So the car isn't that old. It's definitely got a little bit of mileage on it. I think it's 110,000 kilometers on the odometer, which isn't too bad. But there we go. I think, yeah, that's probably good enough. Let's just check inside the door jambs over here. Yeah, we've got a little bit of dust there still, so let's maybe just wash that off a bit. Yeah, I don't know if this rocker panel is going to have any damage on it. Alright, let's just check this side as well. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad around this side. So definitely, I'm sure we've got 0 damage on the passenger side over here. Alright, well, let's get this thing pulled back into the shop, and yeah, we're going to start tearing into this thing. So I think we're going to start by removing the driver's seat, and then we'll take out the back seat, we'll take out the interior panels, and even the driver's side door can come off, I believe. Alright, let's get this thing pulled back into the shop quickly. And yeah, see what we can figure out on this thing. Alright, now that the car is in the shop, and yeah, I think we are going to start by just unbolting a couple of things, getting ourselves a little bit better access to everything, and so that we can eventually see what needs to be fixed up, what panels are bad, what panels we can straighten out. I noticed we are missing a fender skirt or a rocker cover trim on the driver's side. That also probably flew off in the accident. I've got a little bit of rust on this side as well. Right, let's see the rear seat. I've got no idea how the rear seat comes out. I'll have to look for the bolts on this. Alright, the only thing that I can think of is this rear seat is probably held in with bolts under the carpet over here. So I'm going to strip out this center console. I'm going to see if maybe we can get this carpet out. Alright, let's grab the center console. And the carpet might actually pry off. There we go, we've got the carpet out. Alright, now that the carpet is out of the way, let's just get our toolbox back here, because yeah, apparently I pushed that away. Alright, let's get our wrench again and see if we can find the bolts now. Alright, well, this is quite interesting. Don't see any bolts for the rear seat just yet. So yeah, we have to probably try and figure out some stuff here. Alright, there's a box of stickers back here. I don't know what that is for. Maybe his wife is into arts and crafts. Alright, so we'll just put that on the shelf over there. Rear seat, how do you get removed from this car? Alright, well, I've sort of given up on the idea of removing the rear seat for now, because yeah, clearly there's going to be a little bit of a situation with regards to removing the rear seat. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get into this and see if we can take out the taillight maybe on this side. That actually has got a screw over there, so let's get the screwdriver over here. We'll quickly come and undo this taillight. It looks as if the taillight is still in one piece. I'm not sure if it's broken completely, but we'll probably get a new one if it's necessary. There might be another screw to this actually. So yeah, this car is definitely put together a little bit different, if I can call it that, to some other cars that I've worked on. Alright, let's investigate further for more screws. Oh, there's another screw over here. That means there should probably be a third one right over there. Alright, so there we go. We've got a taillight out at least. So this still seems to be in fair condition. I don't know. Alright, now what I would like to do is see if we can get maybe the trunk removed. Those are bolts. Alright. Let's get this trunk unbolted. Alright, so the trunk comes off easily enough. There might actually be some damage to this, but we can definitely inspect that a bit better now that it's off the car. Alright, so now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this plasma cutter. I'm going to cut the obvious welds for this quarter panel to come off. And hopefully it will give us an indication whether we are going to be able to take everything off we need to take off. It might actually have some damage to the roof as well, now that I look at it. I think it was actually very easy. So we've got the whole quarter panel removed, which is quite bad actually. This is completely destroyed and mangled. So in terms of other damage to the car. There seems to be quite a bit of problems with the quarter panel and the inner fender parts. Maybe even the floor is a bit damaged. So I think this will remove this part, which, yeah, I can't really tell if it's damaged. Yeah, it might be a little bit damaged, so we'll see if that can be fixed. As for the roof, we can clearly see there's a bit of a problem here with the roof, so that might actually be able to be banged back with a hammer. If not, we could always try the sledgehammer. But let's quickly remove the rear glass first, because we don't want to risk breaking that, because the rear glass still seems to be in one piece. So we'll get this removed. We're just going to put it in the office over here on the sofa. Just like that. That is quite a bit of a safe spot for it. Alright, so next up, I want to try and bang that roof a little bit straight. Alright, well, we are definitely making some progress here. I've got a couple of dents that we've got on this floor pan. Looks like it's going to come out. It's nothing too serious. As for the lower part of the trunk floor, might have to cut the wheel well out and replace that. That looks like it's a little too far gone. We should probably try and get this car up on a jack or a lift at least. Try and see if we can figure out what else is going on here. As for this rocker panel over here, it doesn't look like it's going to be a big problem for us. But yes, this rear seat, we'll need to figure this out. Maybe Alan will know how to remove the rear seat. Let's just see. Yeah, there's quite a bit of dents down here still. Not exactly sure where to knock the dents out. But we'll figure it out as we go. Alright, so we've got most of the dents knocked out with the hammer that we can basically do with the hammer at this stage with regards to parts mounted to the vehicle. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get this thing up on a jack. We're going to see if we can cut this wheel well out maybe. I'm not too sure if that is going to affect the way that the car is going to sit after we take the wheel well off, because I think the rear shock is actually mounted to it. But yes, I see we do not have a floor jack, so I might actually just pull this thing up onto the lift over here. So I'm just going to quickly clear up the space over here. We're going to just get everything out of the way. And that means I'm going to have to reinstall the front seat, obviously, so that we can actually move this thing again. Alright, so here we are. We've got the car up onto our lift over here. So I'm going to remove this wheel over here so that we can work a little bit easier. Give ourselves a little bit more space. And then we are going to grab the plasma cutter again over here. Going to quickly see what we need to do with regards to removing the wheel well. So we've got our shock absorber mounted to it by the looks of it here. So let's get this unbolted. Alright, so the shock absorber still looks good. Doesn't look like that took any damage. So I'm not too sure about this spring. It should be fine. I don't know if that part is going to come out with it. So yeah, let's maybe just remove that as well, just in case that is going to be a problem for us. Alright, let's get to cutting this wheel well out. Alright, I think that will do it. We've got our wheel well free. So I think this is the last part we needed to really cut off this thing. So I'm just going to put it down over there. Right, and let's quickly grab our hammer again, because I wanted to check for damage on the trunk here. It doesn't look like there's any major damage. As for this trunk inside panel, yeah, there's no damage we can remove with the hammer over there. So I'm thinking maybe it's just gonna need a little bit of bondo. Then this thing should be, yeah, the way that it's supposed to be again. Everything looks kind of straight now. We've got a little bit of deformation still, but that should be able to be fixed with some bondo. As for this rear interior panel and the rear seat, we'll figure out how that is installed. I'm not too sure if that's maybe the screw I see over there. So let's quickly see if it's a screw or a bolt or something. It's going to be a little bit hard to reach it as well, so I'm going to have to get a little bit creative over here. All right, let's see what it is. All right, so let's try the wrench on that. This might actually be something like the fuel tank, which it is. All right, let's maybe drop the fuel tank. It's a little bit safer for it to be out of the car once, yeah, especially when we are doing plasma cutting and stuff like that. Let's just grab our hammer here again. Just want to see if there's any more panels we can knock over here now that we've got the wheel well off. It doesn't look like it. Everything is pretty much sorted. Alright, and let's just check again with our wrench if there's anything else we can unbolt. Alright, doesn't look like it. I've really got no idea how this seat is actually tied down to the car. Don't know if we can see some bolts from the bottom maybe. Nope, nothing over here. Alright, well, I'm a little bit baffled with regards to this back seat in the car. Let's maybe open this door. Yeah, it still needs a bit of bodywork, so I'm not going to worry about banging it against the lift post over here. Alright, these bolts are a little bit hard to get to, especially because we can't open the door completely with the lift post. But yes, this door is definitely salvageable. We can fix this up. We are going to need to replace the inner door panel because that is definitely damaged. But yes, in terms of, yeah, the rear seat over here, I've got no clue how to take it out. So we'll probably ask Alan to come and assist us with this. I'm not too sure if he even knows how this is removed. Because, yeah, there's absolutely no clear indication of bolts of any sort. So yeah, we are, yeah, basically done with everything we can get done on this thing by the looks of it. Yeah, we can remove this panel. This pops out with the pry tool. So that is going to give us an indication if there's any more damage here. So we can clearly see there's a little bit of deformation on this panel. As for the headliner, we'll also be able to pop this out around the back now. Alright, let's just set this down somewhere over here. Right, and what else do we have that needs to come off? We've got basically everything else is removed now. And I'm quite certain now that we've got just a rear seat that I think is bent a little bit. We'll be able to take that out somehow. I've got no idea how this thing mounts. So yeah, we'll figure that out. But I think for now what I can do is we are going to take some bondo. If the bondo is somewhere, I think there it is. Okay, that is perfect. So I want to see if we can start smoothing out some dents. And oh, that is my cell phone ringing. Let me just quickly take this call. Alright, so I just had a phone call from Grandma. She's got a little bit of car trouble. So she's over at the grocery store. So she said she got into the car, she fired it up, and she was about to start reversing out of the parking lot. And the engine just gave a huge bang sound, and the car stopped working, obviously. That's how she would describe it. So yeah, so much for carrying on with the bondo work on this BMW. And yeah, I'm gonna have to come back after I've sorted out this problem to clean up the shop a bit, because yeah, I definitely do not want to leave the place like this. But yeah, unfortunately I'm gonna have to go and make a plan to get Grandma's car back to the house. I might actually have to phone Alan and ask him if we can use the rollback, maybe just to bring Grandma's car over to the house. So yeah, but I'm gonna go over there and just see what actually happened and what is wrong. So yeah, we're just gonna take a quick break from work, and then we're gonna come back once we know what's going on with Grandma's car now. Alright, so yeah, Grandma said that she actually got a lift from Luigi at the pizza place, because he was also here at the shop buying some things at the shop while, yeah, she was busy shopping. And he actually heard the bang sound as well, and he offered her a ride home, so she's already back at the house. Alright, so yeah, I'm not sure what could have gone wrong with this car now. Okay, that is quite interesting. There's a broken piston on the floor, so it looks like the same thing happened to Grandma's car, what that happened to the courtesy vehicle. We've got a piston through the engine block. I've got no idea how this happened. The vehicle does have coolant installed, and there is still oil. The oil filter is still intact. So yeah, I've got no idea how this could have happened. There's no clear indication of what really went wrong with this thing. But yeah, I do know one thing is for certain. The engine block was quite worn. This car was definitely not bought new when Grandma got it. But yes, we are going to have to try and see if we can get this thing back to the house somehow. So yeah, I'm going to have to give Ellen a call just to see if we can use the low bed or the ramp truck in order to get this thing back to the house. But yeah, sadly, that is also where I'm going to have to end this episode for today. So thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate every view, every like. And also, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. I will appreciate it very much. But yes, until the next time, cheerio.